What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Aftermath podcast. I am your host, Christopher Tenpenny, joined by my co host, my good friend, my die-hard Chiefs fan amigo, Mr. CJ. How are you doing, my friend? Chiefs getting an easy dub on Sunday to finish off week 3.
Another victory Monday in the books, fellas. How we feeling, Chris?
Hey, it went like it was supposed to. The Bears are down bad, had a hell of a week, and that's understating it. And Chiefs did what they're supposed to do. They went out, never a doubt. Defense continued to ball out. Offense did what they needed. There's really, it's kind of a boring game for a team that put up 41 points. I mean, everything that we expected and thought would happen did. There were literally no surprises in that game.
Absolutely. The concession stands and the bathroom lines were not as long as they usually are because everyone was getting up and down throughout the game. Once we got up 14 zip, everyone in my section was like, well, time to go get something to eat. I was like, yeah, this is probably the best time because it looks like it's going to be a no sweat today, guys. So
I did like that they got McKinnon involved, took advantage because he, in my opinion, we've talked about it a little bit. I'm surprised about how quiet he is. I know his snap counts have been there,
Mhm.
mostly in third down protection roles, but like his touches have been limited. He hadn't gotten in the end zone yet. That was one thing that like right away I was happy that like, all right, get McKinnon the touchdown, got him again later, start that ball rolling because he really is a difference maker. We saw it last year what he can do for this offense. I just kind of want you thought about getting him involved along with all the running. All the running backs had pretty solid days.
No, absolutely. I think we all know him in the red zone how much of a weapon Jet McKinnon is. We saw him in that role last year. And actually, I saw the clip today. I'm going to post it as soon as the All 22 comes up. Both of the touchdowns he scored on were literally the same exact play with the same exact motion. It was empty set with him as the wing, and you have Rashid to his right on the first touchdown, and Rashid to his left on the second one. They motion Sky across. And the first touchdown, he just basically faked it on the Sky on the jet sweep, shoveled it to Jet. And then on the second touchdown, instead of Jet taking like the shovel, he just ran to the flat and sneaked out like he did 7 times last year. And Pat just dumped it to him. Literally the same exact play, almost like the corn dogs. It like really ran the same play, just flipped it, and it worked again flawlessly. So when Andy sees a play or Nagy see a scheme or a formation that they like, they usually tend to go back to it. So it was a good day for Jim McKinnon. And I was also kind of sad because I took him for an anytime touchdown before the game, so I was happy. But watching the game, I'm like, I hate Missouri not having legalized betting. I could have called the second one. As soon as I saw him come in the game, I'm like, oh, he's about to score again. And I was like, I can't even freaking do it. I'm
You
just sitting there
cannot.
like sad. So, but other than that, great day for the running backs. Pop looked good. Clyde got some garbage time minutes. I love that. But yeah, great day for the running back room for sure.
Yeah, and Clyde was playing early too, like he has been all year. And
Mhm.
I don't have to spend too much time on it because we always do, because it drives me insane. I can't help but say nothing. But why are they trying to salvage this man? Like, I get that him and McKinnon are buds. That running back room is strong. Like, I get it that the team itself likes Clyde. I get it. But it just really feels like they're trying to like make up or for the
Trying to
first
force
round
it.
pick. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like you could be likable and not play. There's plenty of
It's true.
dudes like that. Look at
It's like
Garrick
you're a good
Dieter.
dude, but
Look
just
at
not
Garrick
playing.
Dieter. Like, I don't care that everyone likes on the team likes Clyde. Like, he doesn't need to be in the game in the first or second quarter.
I
I don't
agree
know.
with you.
That's
Unless it's
just
like dire situation and somebody like has an injury, knock on wood. Outside of that, yeah, I don't need to see Clyde. And it's the beginning of the year, so he's sparing some snaps, get a couple of less hits on Jet, a couple less hits on Pop. If this is the game to do it, then it's games versus like the Bears, so I'm cool with it. But like you said, when we're playing big time teams, big time defenses, like when we play the Bills, the Bengals, the Eagles, all of the second half of our schedule, I would prefer not to see 25 in the game. But I'm not going to get my hopes up because I know how Andy is. So
right, right. And it just blows my mind. But either way, we can. There's one other. The only negative thing really to talk about this game, that's been the conversation since Collinsworth made such a big deal about it on Thursday night against the Lions on opening night. Juwan Taylor's being picked on, man.
I
He
swear,
is
bro.
being picked on at that right tackle position. Lining up, okay, maybe in some instances a little further back. Nothing abnormal than what 99% of
Back.
the other NFL tackles are doing.
I saw the screenshots, Chris. It looks very normal to me. So
Like, what is going on? And like illegal formation penalties are something that the NFL is trying to crack down on. It's something that they are noticing. The issue is that it's not they're not having a force of impact on the tackles. It's on the motions, being set for a second. Those are out of 17 penalties. 13 of the illegal formation penalties called have been on those motions or guys not being set. Only 4 this week were called on tackles. 3 of them on Juwan Taylor. One of them, I think, on the Dallas Cowboys right tackle, who was a backup because they're medicine guys. Like, that was it. So it's not, they're picking on the guy.
Absolutely. Like, there's no explanation for it. And I looked at the screenshots of all the linemen because you're supposed to be on the belt line of the center, right? So whatever the belt line of the center, your head should break his belt line.
Mm-hmm.
And all across the league, I saw screenshots of tackles behind the line, just like Juwan is. And like you said, no flags thrown. So clearly they have I don't know why they have a dilemma on him. I don't get it. Because like you said, he was doing it last year, and it seemed not to be an issue. All pro guys like Lane Johnson, who are way more highly profiled than him, aren't getting that same treatment. So I have and I know Andy's talked to the media, and you noticed today he was a little fired up when he saw the quotes, and you guys are definitely picking on Juwan. And I don't know why, because Andy's he's a no BS kind of coach. Like when he gets a mistake and he notices in the league tells him, they probably corrected this week 1 after Detroit. So to hear this week 3, we're still talking about that, Chris. Why? Are they not delivering a quick message, or you're not applying the same rules to every player? Because I don't think they're being fair towards Juwan. Because I know Coach Andy Heck and Andy Reid talked to Juwan about this. Himself, he probably corrected it. So like, I don't get why are we still having this issue going into week 4? We should be done and dead with that by now.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. And it's like, have you seen now the Bears don't have any of these guys, but have you seen the DNs in the league right now? Like, I don't blame these tackles across the league, scooting back just a little bit. You see Nick Bosa, you see Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson coming in strong in year 2. Like, there's TJ Watt. I mean, the list of DNs that it's just scary. So like,
DNs get jumps too, Chris. I don't know why everybody acting so shocked. The DNs jump. What are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. It's just I don't know. And what really pissed me off was they took the touchdown away, which fine, whatever. The game was over. But the fact that the next play was a play that Patrick Mahomes that wasn't necessary because Juwan Taylor was lined up fine, and yet they called the penalty, took the touchdown. Next play, Patrick Mahomes gets rolled up on. And so now the NFL is messing with their star, messing with their poster child. You had a play ran that didn't need to be, that almost ended in the face of your league going down or who knows, he's fine. It didn't end up being nothing. But like,
Pat is good.
NFL hates those kind of scares, man. I bet
messing with money.
I bet that small scare alone, as crazy as it sounds, that small scare alone is going to do better for Juwan Taylor than anything Andy has said this week to the media.
Oh yeah, like it heightens your senses when something goes wrong. And like Chris said, it's sad you have to wait till something goes wrong for you to like be on high alert. You should already be on high alert. But no, as you said, when you see your quarterback get any type of injury, but especially an ankle, and how we feel about Pat and his ankle, especially off the run last year, I'm sure Juwan will be very locked in this week. And not to say he hasn't been this whole year, but when you see your leader go down, your guy that, hey, you're having dinners with him, saying, I'm going to protect you to make sure you're upright. You see him get his ankle stepped on, you're like, all right, I'm going to lock in this week. So,
right. And so,
absolutely.
Yeah. But other than that, offense was rolling. We can get to the defense, which has been on fire. And I know the whole defense has been balling, but specifically for me, man, it's been the DBs, specifically the 3 corners in Williams, McDuffie, and Snead. I mean, those guys, I know Fields is not a thrower, so like this isn't just from this game, but McDuffie's the number 1 ranked corner in the NFL through 3 weeks. Like that it's from Pro Football Focus, and I know we all have our pick and choose, but like the ranking matches the tape. That guy forced another fumble, making open field tackles. I mean, he has just, we'd already thought he was good last year. The jump he's made. What do you got to say about this kid?
I mean, before the season, Chris, I was saying all pros is going to come in this year. So I know the expectations we have for guys like L'Jarius being the veteran, and then we wanted to see Jalen and Josh make the jumps. But coming into the season, I thought everyone pretty much knew Trent's our best cover corner. That's no disrespect to Snead. Snead's a great versatile guy. He can play slot, play outside. He's great with blitzing, great at getting in the backfield and making plays. But purely covering receivers and staying in phase and not really getting beaten over the top, that's Trent's job. And to Chris's point, and I was making fun of it off the camera, I think Trent's probably our top 4 best tackler on the team,
Right.
besides like Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil, and probably Snead at 3rd. So you could probably throw Trent at 4th. So he's one, like, I think he finished with 5 total tackles yesterday. And obviously teams leave the DBs unblocked one-on-one, because usually those are supposed to be your worst tacklers. But Trent's one of our most sure-handed tacklers on the team. And from a corner standpoint, that just does nothing but boost your stock and boost the respect guys have for you, because not only does he cover receivers well and he can play in the slot or play outside, if you have a corner that's willing to tackle, that just takes your game to another level. And that's why before the season, I was saying Trent's going to be an all-pro one day. I don't know if it's going to be this year or it's going to be next year, but I truly believe Trent McDuffie will be on that all-pro ballot for sure. And he's
Yeah,
just proving it again.
he's starting off hot right now as well. Well, do we think is it a Spags thing? Because I swear, since Spags been in, they brought in Breland, who's was a good tackler back in
Rashad,
2020.
yeah.
Rashad Fenton was pretty good. Charvarius Ward's good at it.
Charvarius
Like,
is great, yeah.
yeah, like, and we know what Snead can do. Snead's maybe the 3rd best tackler now. McDuffie, like, what is it about a Spags defense where these corners are just in a league that you see so many times corners getting stiff armed by the Derrick Henrys of the world and getting missing tackles, that the Chiefs DBs don't have that issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they really put an emphasis on it. You saw it during training camp. They did it almost every day. They do like rap and slap doing drills. They obviously have the dummy with the donut, and they obviously going to focus on rapping and finishing plays. So it's just something that you could tell that this team and this defense definitely takes a pride in it for sure. Because like this isn't just a 1-year thing, like Chris said. You can go back to DBs for years that have been here since Spags has gotten to the Kansas City Chiefs, that we really focus on tackling, because that's what teams mostly, that goes back to my point, they leave DBs unblocked for a reason, because they believe you're one of the worst tacklers on the team. That's not the issue, the case with this team. So even when we happen, our linebackers don't get off a block, or D line happens to not set the edge, I have full confidence that any of our corners will go out there and make the play, because we've set that standard. So, and this isn't just a one-off. This is something that's been going on for years, for sure.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and I mean,
I love it, man. I love it.
and now and Chris Jones doing his thing on the defensive line, along with George Karlaftis and Mike Dana. Like, Charles Minihue isn't even here yet, and this defense has allowed what, 3 touchdowns? One of them was a garbage time, and one of them was off a fake punt. One of them was garbage time, and one of them was off a fake punt.
So for being honest,
the Lions got one full, no tricks up their sleeve drive up the. I mean, like, we're nitpicking a little here, but like this defense, again, it's the Bears. They did what they're supposed to, but we saw an Atlanta Falcons team a couple years ago that wasn't very good come in and hang around and play. We've seen bad offenses come in and put up points and hang around against this Chiefs defense. Absolutely. That has not been the case to start this year. These guys have been getting after it. Like, what other than the corners? Like, what's been? It's just all working, right? I mean, nothing really. Nick Bolton wasn't even in there, and he didn't even miss a beat. Drew Tranquil came right in and led the team. Yeah.
And I think that's just like coming into the season. Me and you said, I thought the best group on this team would be the linebacking group, because Nick Bolton was top 2 in tackle last year. I think it was 3 from leading the league in tackles. We obviously know how much of an athlete and versatile Willie Gay is. Leo Chenal's taking a jump. Drew Tranquil was probably one of the most versatile linebackers in the league, and he was on free agency. So I don't know how the Chargers let him walk. Another thing the Chargers did wrong, but among other things. But we added him to this group. I truly believe, and I was trying to be modest about it, Chris, saying we may have like a top 5 linebacker group in the league. I think it's number 1. Like, to miss your leader, and obviously it's the Bears that you can only put so much stock, but to go out there and not miss a beat, I think Drew Tranquil finished for 8 tackles, me and you saw on the stat sheet. So there was really no drop off from Nick Bolton leaving the field. And usually when teams lose their guy who wears the green dot, a guy that calls the defense from your defensive coordinator, for Drew to come in and step up and do the job flawlessly, I think that speaks volumes to this team and the kind of standard they set, not only for that linebacking group, but for that defense as a whole. And Willie said it on the mic'd up last week in Jacksonville. He said, we're aiming to be the best defense in football. And so far, like Chris has said, the stats don't lie. I'm not even being biased right now. We've played 2 really good offenses, and a lot of people try to downplay it now because of what they've done. But before the season, most people thought that the Lions and the Jaguars would be 2 top 10 offenses. And by the end of the year, I think that stat will be proven to be true. Now, the Bears, like we said, we can't take too much from it. But coming into this season, if you would have told me we've given up 3 touchdowns total going into game 4, I would have thought you were crazy.
Right.
Nobody and their mother would have took that bet. No, so the fact that we're here now, don't downplay it now. Spags has been calling a hell of a game this year. He deserves his flowers. He deserves the respect. Obviously, it's early. It's only week going into week 4, so we got a lot more work to do. But so far, so good. This defense is playing outstanding, and they've been playing like an elite defense, and they should be treated as such for sure.
Right, and, wanna give a shout out to Leo Chenal there too, who's taking a big step in
Shout out
year.
Leo,
Like,
baby.
I mean, seriously, the way these linebackers are playing, even without Nick Bolton, it's
Outstanding, bro.
we don't need to have a conversation, but, like, I already kinda thought most of us already think Willie Gay's gone. Like, with the way some of these guys have been playing, Willie Gay may not be here next year, which breaks my heart a little bit, but when you got depth, you gotta pick and choose your spots, and the Chiefs linebackers are proven to play
Freaking amazing.
well. Okay, we gotta talk about it. We wouldn't be doing our civic duty if we did not talk about this today. The biggest star in the stadium at Arrowhead was not Patrick Mahomes, was not Andy Reid. It was, in fact, Taylor Swift sitting next to Mama Kels. I'm sure you've
Swifty.
all heard the rumors about the potential dating or hanging out or what's going on. I don't know about you. It's been kind of crazy as a sports fan getting introduced into this Swifty world on social media and seeing what all these crazy fans are doing with just Taylor Swift being at the game.
Fact. That alone lets you know any kind of rumors confirmed. Taylor Swift coming to Kansas City in the middle of the heart of America makes no sense at all, other than the rumor that her and Trav have some kind of friendship, whatever, lover thing going on. So, and to see them walk out of the stadium together, and some very passionate fan, some people probably use different words, followed them in Travis's car along and took a photo of them, which is probably normal life for Taylor Swift. I'm sure Travis is like, this is what it's like to live within in your world. So you could definitely tell the media ate it up, and as they should. She's one of the biggest stars, if not one of the most famous celebrities in the world right now, regardless of profession, like music, athlete, or whatever. She's just that big of a star. So she's gotten her credit and her flowers for what she's done, and obviously she had a concert here as well. So she's familiar with the city. She performed. I think that was back in July, but that was August when she was here. So
Yeah, not too long ago for her Airs tour. Airs
yeah,
tour.
so people love Swift fans. Chris, when I left the game, she was in that suite at the lower section. Why was there like a mob of people waiting to see if she was going to actually leave out the door? I'm like, you think she's going to walk out in between all of you people? She's probably like underneath the stadium walking some secret tunnel or something, bro. But they were like, we got to see the Swifties. I was like, bro, calm down. I was like,
Dude, they need to calm down. It's too insane. Like I
it's
can't get on
crazy,
anything
bro.
without seeing it everywhere. It's like
Every
relax, relax. I did like though that Travis kind of jumped tiers. He jumped Mahomes already in one day as far as international notoriety, which is crazy. I mean, I was sitting here thinking about it, which is weird, but that's just how much I've been seeing the Swifty stuff. Is that Tom Brady may be the only NFL player more known than the name Travis Kelce right now. And that's because of Giselle and how long he played in the Super Bowls. Like that's how most people, most men and fans of football know who Taylor Swift is, regardless of their fandom.
facts.
Most Taylor Swift fans, which is much bigger than the NFL. I'm
Way
sorry to tell you, the NFL is huge. Taylor Swift fans is
international.
international. It's
Facts.
crazy. Did
Facts.
not know who Travis Kelce was.
That's
That
a fact.
entire fan base has been introduced in 24 to 48 hours. That he went from not ranked in the tickets in top 10 jersey sales to top 3 in a
In
day.
one day.
In
One day.
one day.
I think he
Like
said he gained like what 300,000 followers on Instagram.
it doesn't even matter
Something
if the
crazy, bro.
if they're full on dating or not. If they are just kind of messing around, maybe it fizzles out in a week. What this has already done for Travis's brand is incredible, and I'm so happy for the guy because he's just oh my
He
gosh,
already had like 4 commercials on TV. Now you're adding
man,
this. He's making bank, bro.
she's just who cares? He's talking about being underpaid and how everyone's.
He'll be
He
all right.
found a way. He found a way to make some money that the Chiefs can't give him by these
Give me this bag
rumors,
right
just
here.
going on a date, renting out a restaurant, whatever the hell happened. Like, I don't really care if it's true or not or how long it lasts. The fact that it's been taking this storm, it's been kind of funny.
Bro, it's
I am
hilarious.
getting a little overwhelmed, though. I am getting a little overwhelmed.
It's funny, bro. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, so I probably know like maybe one song, like "Bad Love." It's probably the only one I've ever heard. Like, don't question me on
About
any T Swift songs.
22.
22, yes. Like, so I'm not trying to disrespect the Swifties. That's not my lane. I stay in my lane, Chris. After her music, but I will say this: she is one of the most popular people and well-known people in the world. So the fact that everyone's talking about her and whatever her and Travis is doing is for good reason, because it's Taylor Swift, and like most of her brand is known for her being like a person that's been like taken advantage of, and she's had a lot of breakups in her
Mm-hmm.
life. So the fact that she has a new quote unquote lover, you think people weren't going to pay attention to it, and it just happens to be one of the most popular NFL players in the league. So it goes hand in hand. So it's a crazy time to be a Chiefs fan. Even more of a crazy time if you're a Taylor Swift fan and a Chiefs fan. You're probably in heaven right now. So
Yeah, it's there, and there's a lot of that going around too. So, with the multiple Taylor I love that she was sitting next to Mama Kels too. That was, I think,
that
my
was
favorite
fire.
part.
Oh,
That it was like there's at least something there. There, whether it's a friendship or what really is going on.
thanks.
But I digress. That's not our specialty. It was just, again, wouldn't be doing our civic duty if we didn't
We
at
gotta
least
talk about it. So
talk about it a little bit. But let's get on to Sunday Night Football Week 4. This was probably the game I was set, one of the most games I was excited for the most, especially early on. You don't play the Eagles till like week 10 or 11. You don't play the Bengals till the end of the year on New Year's. This week 4 game against the New York Jets was going to be awesome. It was going to be Patrick Mahomes' first time playing in New York. We were finally going to get Mahomes Rodgers, and 30 seconds into the Jets season, that all evaporated, and now we get this. I know we typically try to keep it clean in here, but this is going to be a shit show. I think we're going to see another game like we saw on this Sunday against the Bears, to where Chiefs defense is legit. The Jets can't do anything. Even if they figure some things out, this defense is going to eat them alive.
yeah.
I don't even know where to begin. Like, what's your number one point for this Chiefs Jets game?
Well, for one, I just want our guys to leave healthy because MetLife is like a freaking boneyard or a graveyard for injuries. Like, I hate the stadium for multiple reasons, but I know some people that have been fortunate enough to buy tickets to this game, and I feel heartbroken for them. To imagine this thing, you know how much it is to get into New York or Jersey, sorry, to get into MetLife Stadium, and the magnitude of Mahomes and Rodgers, and buy those tickets before the season started. To figure out he got hurt, I just felt so sorry for the people I know that live in the area or traveling to go up there. My heart goes out to them because I couldn't imagine spending that much money. Now you don't get to see them, and this is the fourth time they tried to play. So this is crazy. But overall, like, yeah, the juice of this game is definitely gone. Zach Wilson is awful. Like Chris said, Chris, I've been trying to bet his anytime interception the last 2 weeks. It's like minus 200 every week. There's like no value in it. They know he's going to throw a pick. It's so bad. I think he threw for like maybe 170 yards yesterday. I think it was like right under 180.
Did he
So
throw for that many?
I
That
really don't think.
surprises
I
me.
really
No,
don't think. No, maybe I'm thinking of Josh Dobbs. I think Zach Wilson was like under 150. I believe it was.
yeah,
I took the under on his yards. I know he played really bad, so I was very confident in it. But yeah, overall, they don't really move the ball well. They're trying to establish a run game, but it can't when you're behind the sticks every play. Um, Brees Hall wants more touches. Dalvin Cook is involved in the offense as well. The offensive line is still struggling. Yeah, that whole offense was predicated around Rodgers and what he did, and him not being there. It's gonna be a disaster for the Jets all year. Their fans are definitely gonna be going through it. Now you got a high profile game when you're playing your rival in the Patriots. Now you got to follow that up with the defending Super Bowl champs and the best quarterback in the league coming into your building, and you got to watch your quarterback see him not throw interceptions. That's a goal for you. So
right.
it's a pretty low standard in New York, but yeah, it's stuck for football fans too because we wanted to see it. Like we wanted to see those guys go at it. That defense with Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams, all the names they got over there versus our offense and all the weapons we have. That's the game we wanted to see. And unfortunately, for like the fourth time, we still can't get Mahomes Rodgers. I don't know. Football guys just don't want to see him play. Chris. It is what it is. It's one of those things where like, oh, LeBron, Kobe never played. Rodgers and Mahomes never played. So it's like
Right.
it kind of sucks because we wanted to see two greats in a certain scenario, even more so like in an AFC Championship game, but just to see them in a game on the same field. But it's some things I guess the football guys just didn't want to happen, and we just had to live with it, unfortunately. So
Yeah, it's a shame that Rodgers won't be playing. Good for the Chiefs though, because it's another game to where this is best case scenario because that you're going up against a legit defense, a top 5 defense that's going to test you. That you're going to have to make sure you're making the right reads, make sure you're on your A game and not doing turnovers. We saw what Josh Allen did in week 1, which actually allowed those Jets to win somehow because of all the turnovers Josh Allen was giving them. So like there is actual there is actual a little, I don't know if concern is the word, but you got to be on your P's and Q's on offense going
absolutely,
into this game. You let a pick 6 happen and a special teams, you're right back in the Lions game where like, hey, instead of Zack Wilson having to put 3 drives together, he's got to put maybe 1.
exactly.
And even in the NFL, even as bad as Zack Wilson is, He had that 80-yard throw to Garrett Wilson against the Cowboys. Brees Hall's broken off a couple long runs this season when he gets touches. Like, anyone can make a play of one or two plays. So you got to be tough there. But defensively, man, this is just the perfect way to just keep the ball rolling. You got one guy. You circle Garrett Wilson, say he's not going to beat us. Maybe Brees Hall. I do like what Brees Hall brings to the table a lot, but again, it's a running back in a team that can't pass. That's a hard world to live in, with a bad offensive line. So Garrett Wilson's really the only guy I'm circling. Don't let Zack Wilson get hit to him too much, and we may be looking. I don't know 41 because again the Jets defense is good, but we're looking at like what a 27-10 game kind of thing. Like it's going to be a boring Sunday night. I may actually go. I was told I normally hoop on Sundays, Sunday nights after the day game. I may still go. Let's be real. I still may go hoop Sunday afternoon with the Chiefs game on. Like, that's how confident I'm feeling. Every time I say stuff confidently, the exact opposite happens. It becomes,
so Chris, watch the freaking game.
But that's where I'm at. I just as great as it is to watch Mahomes and this Chiefs offense and just this Chiefs teams in general, watching Zack Wilson before I have to go to work on Monday just sounds like an awful
Bro, I couldn't imagine paying money and having a ticket and having to go watch Zack Wilson play football for 3 hours. I would pull my hair. I'm not watching this. Like, I expect to be definitely like a defensive performance for us. I expect us to go out there and get a turnover over two, like via Zack Wilson. I'm thinking more like a 31-13 type game. Like, I don't see any struggle. Like you said, get a couple plays early, get a turnover off Zach. It could get ugly really fast for them. So, yeah, I'm not expecting too much pushback. I definitely want to see us come in there and play a clean game, execute offensively, but defensively, I want to keep the pressure on them. I definitely want to get this. I want to get a turnover streak going, something that me and Chris have been clamoring for years with this defense. Not only are we playing fast, we're taking the ball away, which was the next evolution that we're actually finally influencing on this defense. So for us to keep getting a pick, keep getting fumbles and turning the ball over and giving the ball back to our offense, which essentially is the defense's job. When we get this offense extra possessions, we're going to be a very tough team to beat. So that's a good habit I want to continue this week and definitely have a great opportunity to do so against the Jets. So.
Right. And again, all these comments, we'd already addressed it. Like, we get it. The Bills lost to this Jets team. The Cowboys lost to Arizona this week. Like, Jags lost to each. Like, we get it. Weird upsets in the NFL that ruin your survivor leagues happen every single week. It's not worth harping on those reasons right now that could happen. It's like,
exactly.
You can play C+ football even with as good as this Jets defense is and still win by 10 points.
Facts.
as long as you just don't let it just snowball.
And Chris is really being modest. Chris, I don't really think they score a touchdown. I'm trying to be respectful. I don't want to bash them.
They've somehow scored every week. Garrett Wilson week 1 had the weird. They've somehow scored an offensive touchdown every week. I don't know how. Garrett Wilson's got 2 of them, and then I think they rushed it against the Patriots towards the end to make that close. But like,
garbage times don't freaking count. No.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's so, and then hey, that Hail Mary almost bounced into Randall Cobb. That was crazy. But like, again, that's why Garrett Wilson's my guy. That's the guy that they had Snead following DJ Moore, the number 1 receiver for the Bears. I'm curious to see if Snead's going to be following Garrett Wilson, if they're going to be using McDuffie. I'm kind of curious what the defensive alignment there is. I would just keep it basic, man. Again,
you don't need no special game plan this week. Go out there, line up, play football.
Yeah, circle 17, put a safety over the top. The other 9 guys, don't let Zack Wilson do anything, which he can't. So that shouldn't be that hard, and you're good to go.
Another great week for props, man. Last week I was talking to some fans in the Arrowhead parking lot. George Karlaftis with 1 sack was plus money. Chris Jones 2+ sacks was plus money. I think you could play both of those this week and feel very confident. It's going to be another good day for the D-line room, so I'm excited.
Don't forget to give Dana some love.
Mike Dana, too, plus money, another guy. If you want to get spicy, throw some money on Felix. So I think all 3 of those guys definitely have a chance to get a sack on Sunday.
And again, bad everywhere except RB1 and wide receiver 1 on the offensive side.
I think one of their tackles, I think Dwayne Brown just got shut down too. So
yeah, he's done. You're gonna see Chris Jones like doing the JJ Watt thing where he finds the new guy, the worst guy on the line, and then he's like, all right, that's where I'm lining up.
You
Everyone else have fun and like, Man, the one thing I know we're wrapping up here, and I should have brought this up earlier, but like I meant to ask you about Rice
Yeah.
because the offense has been a little weird off as far as the wide receivers. That still held true in the Bears game. I mean, we're having Justin Watson making the biggest play again. I know MVS's touchdown was called back. Richie James is going to be out for a minute. Kadarius Toney, always battling injuries, had that first play and really didn't play much. Do we need to see more of Rasheed Rice in this offense? Almost scored 2 touchdowns. I mean, was a yard off
Both on the
twice.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he already has 1 touchdown this year in limited snaps. Like, is this a guy that the Chiefs need to just go full send to, or do you like the packages and, the 10 to 12 plays a game that they're currently doing with him?
I mean, once Richie went down, we pretty much knew that's more snaps for Rasheed and Justin Ross. So,
Mhm.
um, and I think we've kind of pretty much we're getting closer and closer to establishing what everyone's role is in this team. KT's more of like the Miko role, like the gadget type guy. He's going to have his plays where he's very special in that
Mhm.
role. The consistent guys every week are going to be MVS. They're going to be Justin Watson. They're going to be Sky Moore. And that other consistent one may be Rasheed Rice. He's playing in that role. Justin Ross is still getting spot up duty, not really getting too many consistent snaps. It'll kind of be a couple here, a couple there, but nothing crazy. But I think the 4 consistent receivers you can expect to see on a weekly basis will be Justin Watson, MVS, Sky Moore, and Rasheed Rice. And I think Rasheed is proven every day, every week he's getting better. I know he had an ugly drop at the end when
For the
that
pick,
fourth.
yeah, to Gabbert, yeah.
He has to get that drop. He'll make a catch, but then he has a drop issue. But overall, I think those 4 receivers are pretty much slowly but surely establishing themselves. That, all right, these are our 4 we're going to roll with, and the other 3 are kind of going to be like, all right, situational guys.
Right.
Richie, KT, and then obviously Justin Ross in like break the glass emergency situations. We know who our 4 receivers are, and I think we're slowly starting to figure ourselves and get our identity in place for sure.
Right, I would love to see Rice get a little bit more active in the
I
Jets
mean,
because it's a game that you can, this whole stretch is where you can kind of test what we've got at the
absolutely.
receiver because you've
Minnesota
got the
defense,
Vikings, which defense isn't very good. Then you got the Broncos 2 out of 3 games after that. The Chargers
except
is
for
always a shootout. With the Chiefs, it feels like each team getting into the high 20s. So like
yeah,
these next 4 to 5 games, if Rice can really make a stamp here, I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of
His
breaking the
confidence
mold.
is growing. You can see it every week. He's getting a little
Right,
better.
right.
Love it.
Just see the ball and just
Just look, catch it with your eyes. That's what you catch
catch
it
it
with.
with your eyes. Yeah, you don't worry about the yak. The yak will come as you get older. Right now, just
Just,
yeah, and then worry about it. So,
you got it, buddy.
the last thing we like to do on here, game predictions. Line is at 9.5 right now,
Makes,
which
makes
is again a compliment. The last week it was 12.5, so it's a compliment to the Jets defense and what they can
As it
do.
should be. Yeah.
42.5 is the over under, meaning that again, compliment to the Jets defense. They think the Chiefs scored 41 on their own last week. Not quite. They're not quite expecting the same this week in New York. What's your final score you got?
I'm gonna go Chiefs 31, Jets. God, I really don't think they do this. I'm gonna go Chiefs 31, Jets 10. I really don't think they score a touchdown, but I'm gonna give them their respect. I'm gonna say they drive to the red zone or get close to the red zone twice, and one time they make it a garbage time touchdown. So Chiefs 31, Jets 10, and that'll be the under, right? Because it's 42. So yeah, the under for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you in the sense it's the under. The Chiefs cover 27-10. What I said earlier, like we're in the same ballpark. Sauce Gardner and some of these guys that the Jets do have on defense, I think will make some plays, and it won't be as just running up and down the field like it was against the Bears. I think Patrick Mahomes will have to play 4 quarters this week. But but I think it should be a fairly easy game if things go to plan. Things go against plan all the time. I'm trying to cover my bases because last I was confident about the Lions game earlier, and we know how that ended.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was before the Travis Kelce injury, but still, I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know if it
that
would have
changed
changed.
everything.
I don't know if it would have changed my cockiness as much as that should have back in week 1. So we will see how this game goes. CJ, did I just call you TJ? Holy cow, it's been a long Monday, my friend. CJ, where can the good people find you at when to
They
get
can
all these
definitely
hot
find me
news?
on Twitter at CGZ81. I'm sure Chris will click his magic buttons and the name will pop on the screen for our visual watchers. But CJEEZY81, if you guys want to talk betting lines, fantasy, if you want to talk X's and O's about the game, I definitely will post some clips tonight and tomorrow morning when they drop the all 22 to talk about the plays me and Chris broke down today. I appreciate you guys as always, and I look forward to seeing all of you Our next home game will be what? The Broncos game on Thursday Night
Yeah,
Football.
Thursday Night Football.
That'll be the next time we'll be in Arrowhead. So we got a little road trip for the next couple of weeks. We go to New York and then we go to Minnesota. So we'll be on the road for a couple of weeks. So other than that, you guys know I love you. Go Chiefs Kingdom.
For sure. And you can always follow me on Twitter at 10penny88. Always, I've not as been as vocal this year just because it's the same things with me. I get frustrated and like the same thing. So I keep it low key, but I always like to hear back from you guys that just talk ball, anyone that wants to talk. And also please make sure if you're listening to this on Spotify or through podcasts, please go check us out on the KC Sports Authority YouTube page where we've got the videos, we've got the links to things, we've got great KU content on there. I know not all of you are Jayhawk fans, but this Chiefs content and KU content there. Make sure to give them a shout out, give them a follow, like all those good things on their YouTube page, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Or excuse me, X. My bad, X. Should we just start calling that the Dante Hall? Is the X just?
Dante Hall,
We just
baby.
say the
X,
Dante Hall. We're talking about X, talking about Twitter since it's a Chiefs podcast. I don't know. That's a work in progress. But anyway, make sure to give those guys a shout out. They always do a good job helping us put this stuff together. So,
Absolutely.
all right, that's gonna do it for us this week. We'll talk to you next time.
Go Chiefs.